Hey, everybody. Just thought I'd pop on for a little bit, see what everybody's up to. Let's see. Hey, Richard. I'm doing fine. How are you? I'm glad you could be here. I really appreciate it. Let's see. Hi, Sunset. Glad you're here. Let me see. You have a video from me or a comment. We taste his. Um, I noticed that about my Wii video. Why do I have ads? I'm not monetized. I know you just asked me that, but I'm not. I still have, a pretty good ways to go before I reach that thousand subscribers. So yeah, that's interesting. I'm not sure why I have the ads on there. I shouldn't. Um well, anyway, I'm here. If anybody wants to ask me something that you might want to know about me that you don't know that you're curious about, I'll gladly tell you. That's why I labeled this particular segment um, random. Steve, will you ever do a video with your roommate? I'll keep something in mind. My roommate, for those that don't know, is also a longtime best friend of mine for the last 29 years. So, you know, I have known him all along. He knew my parents, I knew his parents. And he fell into some hard times. Uh, he went through a bad marriage. I don't really want to tell off on him, but he went through a bad marriage. He wound up homeless. We had lost contact. And when I regained contact with him again, at the time, I was living in an RV. This was about 6 years back. And I said, well, why don't you come, stay the night? He was worried about his snoring. So he finally opted to come and stay a night. The next morning he asked, well, Steve, how did I do? He's worried about the snoring and waking me up. But I was in the front room with a sliding door, so I didn't really notice a lot of the noise. And he was in the living room. So I said, I would give you a B rating. And the rest is history. That was April 20th of 2016, and he's been my roommate ever since then. Like I said, I've known him for an extremely long time, and I don't have to worry about, some weirdo or some whack job coming in my room trying to do anything to me, because we do live in a post 9/11 world. Um, let's see. Hey, Jan. Oh, you took a nap. All right. Well, hey, there's nothing wrong with a little afternoon nap. I mean, it comes in handy. Let's see. Favorite meals, ways to create new meals from leftovers, a couple of to goes. I'll tell you what I like to do when it comes to meals that I have left over, say in the refrigerator. I do like to repurpose, which means, here's a good one. If I have like a little bit of hamburger meat, maybe left over, some type of chopped up meat, some mixed vegetables or vegetables in general, maybe some rice or whatnot. I might throw together a little bit of kind of sort of fried rice, or maybe a little bit of a stir fry type thing. But I really enjoy, I don't know what it is. I think at times I probably enjoy leftovers more than I do the main course, if that makes any sense. And anything where you incorporate, kind of do everything but the kitchen sink type meal, and put it in a slow cooker or do it up, are great. And then I can eat off of that for a couple of 3 days, depending on how much I make. So um, that's one of the things that I like to do. But primarily anything that has to do with repurposing. This one I've mentioned before too. When you do a pot roast or a chicken, and Richard, I know we've talked about this in the past about slow cooker pot roasts and the chickens. What you can do is save the broth and put it in a container, and you close it up, put it in the refrigerator, and whenever you go to use it the next time, of course the fat's going to come to the top. Take that off, and you can always take some pasta or even some white rice. And what you can do is take that broth from the chicken or from the roast, put it in there, and add put a little pepper and some Parmesan cheese or whatever you like, and you just created another meal on the cheap. So I thought, I would go ahead and definitely throw that in. That would be something that you can try if you haven't already done it. Um, was I affected by the tornadoes? No, I was not. Not at all. That actually occurred west of me, like Tallahassee, Pensacola, Fort Walton Beach over that way, which Tallahassee from me out I-10 is about 3 hours from me. So by the time the weather got here, all we mostly got was just rain for the most part. That was it. Thank you, Pam. I appreciate that. I'm glad you enjoy my shows. I enjoy putting them out there. And I enjoy coming on here live talking to you guys. Most people would never ever think this about me that I'm going to share with you. Most people have a hard time understanding this, but I'm actually an introvert. Yeah, I'm not really what you call an extrovert, although that's what you see me come off, when I'm on here. But I do have an introvert side to me. Um, I'll give you an example. Let's say I'm in a room with one of you guys, but I know who you are. I know how to take you, you know, demeanor wise. But let's say you have another friend come in, but I don't know them. I'm not going to necessarily say the same thing to you as I would with them around. I would verbally say it differently because I don't know if I would offend them, or maybe certain wording, may come across wrong. So I do change up my verbal speech or talk when somebody else, is in the room, to give you an example. Let's see. I bought an already roasted chicken, literally doubled in price, fed us for 3 days. Okay, Sunset, I have a good little tip for you. I'm going to come back to the stir fry. So, what I would do is, speaking of the roasted chicken, you could eat off of what you can. And whatever you don't use, put it in the refrigerator, take it out. You can take a bag of frozen stir fry, put a little bit of oil in your skillet. I like to use a little bit of olive oil. It's, good for you. Or if not that, maybe a little canola. Put that in there, cook it up, let it get, let the frozen part of it break up. Then start taking the breast meat, if you have any left, and break it up and put that in your stir fry, mix it in, add soy sauce while it's cooking. And then if you want to do white rice, I have one of the easiest, simplest recipes for white rice. I'll share it with you right now. It's a joke. Um, whatever amount of rice you use, double the water. So 1 cup of rice, 2 cups of water, 2 cups of rice, 4 cups of water. You get the idea. A half a cup of rice, 1 cup of water. You do that in a small skillet, pot type. A little piece of butter, put that in there, put the lid on it, put it on your stove on high, I should say, for about until it comes to a boil. Wait about 10, 15 seconds, turn it off. Set it on your back burner. Let the water absorb for about 15 minutes, take the lid off, boom. You have rice. You don't really need to go to the extra expense of buying a rice cooker, although a rice cooker also makes into a steamer. So, that's also a good thing for those that, might want to have one. So let's see. Oh, Sunset, you're an introvert. Yeah, um, nothing wrong with being an introvert. A lot of people, famous people that we all know as an introvert. Let's see. That sounds like you, Richard. Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah, I can see that. Oh, Rose, you're a introvert too. Good to see you. I'm glad you could be with us. Jan, I know you're an introvert. We've talked about that many a time. Let's see, Richard. How good is the quality of olive oil in grocery stores compared to buying it at specialty stores? Okay. Believe it or not, I actually purchase my olive oil at the grocery store. I'll tell you what I use, and it does come highly recommended. I use it. My mom used it. I believe my grandmother used it as well. I like to use Pompeian extra virgin robust. It's very flavorful. It makes your food taste great. I know you have other olive oils out there that can run much more, but that's what I buy. And I do encourage others to try it. I think you would highly like the taste of it. I know it really flavors the food rather nicely. So, but but Richard, I've never bought any olive oil at a specialty store, although I've seen them, many a time, but I've never bought anything. But a good one that I use that I'm more than happy with is the Pompeian extra virgin robust. Let's see. Um, just to let everybody know, I have again read your comments that you've left me. Thank you very much. Um, I read each and every one of them. I try to comment back to everybody if I can. I hope I don't miss anybody. If I have, please don't feel like you're being ignored. You are not. I did read it. Let's see. Oh, you're welcome, Richard. Yeah, if you're looking to purchase an olive oil, give that one a try. You don't really need a big bottle. Just get you a probably. I wish I had one here to show you, but you could probably pick up a 16-ounce bottle. That would be plenty. It takes courage to have a YouTube channel. Being an introvert, I give all credit where it is due. Um, I have to tell you something, Sunset. If someone had come up to me 20 years ago when I was in my late 20s, of course, that YouTube hadn't come out by that point, and said, let's just say that it had. Hey, Steve, you should do a YouTube channel. I probably would have shied away from it at that point because when I was in my late 20s, or in my 20s, I should say, I was more shy than what I am right now. I've noticed as I've gotten older, the introvert in me has gotten less. But I think to a certain extent, that introvert side of me is always going to be there. I don't think it's ever going to completely leave me. I think it'll, to some degree, will be there. Um, well, Janet, I have to mention something to the audience. Do you guys realize? I don't know if you know this or not. I'm the one that actually encouraged Janet to start her own channel. Yes, I did. She asked me, this was probably about a year or so before she went and did her own channel. Steve, do you think I should do a YouTube channel? She asked me just like that, if I recall. And I said, yeah, you should do it. Go ahead and do it. So basically, um, I was the one, to quote your words, I'm the one that pushed her out of the helicopter to start her own channel. So thanks to me, Janet, and that's why all of you know Janet now for who she is. Um, and I started out on her channel as a channel contributor. And then October 19th of 2020 is the day that I took the leap of going ahead and starting my own channel. I figured, what the heck, I'll go ahead and do it. My birthday was 12 days later. And originally, I was going to start at July 22nd, which was my dad's birthday, but things permitted me. But October, there wasn't anything in the way. I just went ahead, started my own channel. Uh, oh, so now I pushed you out of a window. Oh, well, listen, the end result is I pushed you out. The end result, you're out. Boom. You got to do this. And look at you now. So, yeah, Richard, Jan does rock. She really does. Not just in a YouTube sense, but um, even in a music sense. She's got pretty good taste. Um, you know, yeah. Oh, thanks, Sunset. Yeah, I'm glad that we both started the channel. I kind of like it because I get to interact with all of you guys, and you know people say Steve, and I know Jan asked me one time. This was a while back. How do you feel about going live? I said, well, I'm already out there in video talking, or talking to everybody else. Why not? Just do it. Kind of like the Nike commercial. Just do it. So, but I have no problem going live. I don't. I really don't. I wish I could go live 4 or 5 days a week. To be honest with you, I mean, I kind of like it. It's fun because it's one on one. Oh, you're welcome, Janet. Let's see. I have been gifted with an electric chicken rotisserie roaster. Love it, but cleanup is rough. Oh, I know I think I know the one you're talking about. I can't think of the brand. It might be a Showtime. I don't think it's Showtime. I can't remember. I know it's glass, and you open it, and you pull the rotisserie spinner out, and you load your chicken, and it's metal, and you slip it back in there, and you close it. I know their motto was "Set it and forget it." But I do know that I think I know the rotisserie that. Wait a minute, you said electric. It might be the same one I'm thinking of. I know it was real popular um, a few years or 10, 12 years back, maybe a little longer. But I think I know the one you're talking about. Um, oh, Rose, thank you. Yeah, you would never believe this. There are times I really don't know topically what to talk about whenever I go and do a video. I really don't. People think, but it's so easy to do a YouTube channel. All you got to do is get on there and run your mouth. Yes, that is true. But what good is it going to do to run your mouth if you have nothing to talk about? I mean, like right now, I don't have anything to talk about. Like right now, everything's random. It's also like playing catch up on some of the videos that I had done. Um, so it's just a mixed bag. Oh, Ronco, that's it. Thank you, Sunset. That that's the brand. Yeah, I couldn't think of. I don't know what made me think of Showtime. You know, but let's see. Oh yeah, thanks, Richard. Yeah, I like being random. That's how my channel comes across as random. I don't want to. I don't want to just focus on this or whatever this may be. I want to talk about financial. I want to talk about giving you guys a recipe. I want to talk about music and television and things like that. I want to talk about things that we can, both interact in that we all love. That's what I want to do. Um, oh, Richard, before I forget, Tuesday morning, if you're able to tune in, because my recipe goes up at 6 a.m. It's 5 a.m. your time, but I've got a really good slow cooker recipe in store for you. And when I saw it, I haven't done the video yet, but I'll probably do it later on this evening or tomorrow. But I thought of this video when I saw it and what it was about. You popped up in my head. So on Tuesday, even if you do miss the actual time that it comes on, but it'll be there, that you can always see it on playback. But the video will be there when you get a chance to watch it on Tuesday. It's going to be right up your alley. Oh, you're still in bed at 5? Okay. No, that's fine. That's all right. The video's there, like I said, but when you see it, it's definitely going to be something that's going to trigger you mentally, and you may even want to try it. Let's see. Already at the beginning because I know it will be good. Okay, yeah, it will. It will be. Let's see. You're quite the popper. Oh, that okay. That okay. That's good to know. That's cool. Um, so like I said, I'm just here running my mouth. Well, it's more than that. It's interacting with you guys, and I'm glad that for those of you that are here, I'm glad you guys showed up. I appreciate that. But um, let's see what else. Actually, you know what? I shouldn't do this, but I will go ahead and give away the recipe for Tuesday. Maybe this will help you guys want to tune in a little more. It has to do with slow cooker Italian. Uh, it's like a, it's a sandwich, Italian style that's done up with a chuck roast. Is I can't really think of the exact name because I glanced at it, thought of you, Richard, but it has to do with a chuck roast. You take the meat and you shred it and you put it on a hoagie bun somehow, and it's got some Italian style flavoring to it. So be on the lookout on Tuesday at some point. I think you'll really enjoy it. And all of you guys, I think, might want to try it as well. Yes, I will be on Janet's channel tonight at 7 p.m. Richard, I got to remember you're central, so you're an hour behind me. So you'll tune in at 6 your time. You know, so that's why I just wanted to jump on here, and touch base with you all. Okay, wait a minute. Let me see. What do you say? Okay. Uh, Sunset. We versus Soon's SP yogurt preference. Okay, what is I know what the we is because I did the review on it. What is Soon's? What is that? The SP. Um, you might you might want to elaborate on that one. I'm not certain. Oh, but the we yogurt, I do recommend it if you can find it. The Noosa, I highly recommend it. They're both similar, although the Noosa, I believe, has a little bit more protein in it. I think it also depends on the size that you get, but you can't go wrong with either yogurt. They're both fabulous. They're not overly tart. So, yeah, okay, the Noosa, right, right. The two, which one do I recommend of the two? I don't know. It's hard to say because they're almost a step across from each other. I will say this: what's different about the two? The wheat yogurt is a little bit more of a custard style. It's firmer. It's firmer. Whereas the Noosa is a little bit more loose and a little more creamy, if that makes any sense. Um, okay. Oh, okay. You weren't sure how it was spelled. Yeah, that's fine. But yeah, either one. They can be a little bit on the pricey side. I know that the Wii is a little less in price by 30 40 cents. I'm thinking, at least down here where I'm at. Let's see. Good, Richard. I'm glad you'll be there. I wanted to tell you. I meant to write it to you in a comment, but I can tell it to you here just as well. Do yourself a favor, because this might help. And if this is already activated on your part, then it's a YouTube thing. Okay, if you where you're subscribed to me or Jan or whoever else, just to the right, there's an emblem of there's an image of a little bell. Make sure that's highlighted, because with that being highlighted, YouTube is supposed to notify you about a half hour prior to a live or a premiere or something to go up, or even just a few minutes before. So make sure that little bell image is highlighted. If it's not, you're not going to get a notification. I had to find that out on my own, so I'm just passing it along. Um, what? Walmart said they never heard of Noosa? That's ev- I don't, not unless it's like a regional thing, but I doubt. Um, or just certain stores. I highly doubt that, because all of the Walmarts in my area carry the Noosa. But that pumpkin one that I did, I had to go to a Walmart about 6 7 miles out one way just to get that. Um, okay. But Richard, if you can't find the Noosa, look for the Wii, the OUI. That like I was mentioning to the a couple of days back or three. Either one, the yogurt is great. Have I ever played an instrument? No, I never have. The only thing musically that pertains to me is e- overly, extremely knowledgeable about different artists and groups and songs and things like that. Um, I could be a disc jockey. I honestly could, because my musical walking encyclopedia of mentality when it comes to music is you know pretty advanced. My roommate um, calls me Dick Clark Jr. That's his nickname for me. I think it's the cutest thing in the world. And he is my idol only because on American Bandstand, I always envision myself talking to the artist or the groups that perform the music. Oh, it is highlighted. Okay, good. Good, Richard. Well, that just means that it's more or less a YouTube issue. Then it has nothing to do with you, because if that's on, you should get a notification a few minutes before. But you know, there's no worry there. You'll be notified. Don't worry. Um, are you going grocery shopping tomorrow morning? Yeah, is a Sunday morning is a good time to go. I love to go Sunday morning. That's before the boom hits on a Sunday. The church crowd and everybody going. Because they have to prepare for Monday to go to work. But Sunday morning, or I'm an AM person. I like to get in there in the morning when there's not many people, get my doings done, errands, and I'm done for the day. Uh, oh, you did? Yeah, American Bandstand. Yeah, me too. I used to watch it every Saturday as a kid. Um, I used to get my cereal in the morning, watch my cartoons like any other kid did. And, and I still watch cartoons today if there's nothing else on. And then I would watch my American Bandstand, my Soul Train. I had to have that. You know me. That's like a music is like a drug to me. So yeah, you know what, Sunset? That makes a lot of sense. I think it was a warm up to MTV because in the later after MTV came about, American Bandstand was still on the air. But what Dick Clark would do is show a music video in between. So I do kind of see that. I do see that. That makes a lot of sense. Yes, my show is always on Saturday at 1:30 Eastern time, always. So without fail, you'll always see me on Saturday, and on days you'll also see Jan and I together. Um, somebody, a subscriber mentioned that Jan and I are considered like peanut butter and jelly because we work so well, and we do. Like I said, we've known each other about 6 years, met on a social media platform and a music group in the 60s group. Um, since I mentioned 60s music, I'm partial to the early 60s. Why? Because that reminds me of like post rock and roll. It's very similar, just slightly refined. But I'm partial to the early 60s. That's my most favorite part of the 60s. Do I like the rest of it? Sure. I like the British music invasion. It was pretty good. Psychedelic period. I know that was an important part of what was to come. I can take or leave psychedelic. And then in 69, you had the Woodstock and the Wind of Change. And 69 was very pivotal for music. That was where everything was, starting to transition come about. And of course, I love my 70s music. And what I have to say about 70s music is that was the decade of music perfection because that's when everything came together more or less. Okay, let's see. Sunset. I shop on Fridays or Saturdays. Stores here are stocked for the weekend as compared to Monday. Yeah, that's true. That's true. You do that's true. You do tend to find a better the merchandise is better. You're stocked. You don't have to worry about not being able to find the product you need. It's always there. Pre-Vietnam 60s music was different than yes, it was. Oh, without a doubt. Way different. To me, that particular period of music that you're talking about, it reminds me of 50s music, but it has a slightly refined sound to it. But the only way I know how to compare it is like disco to post disco. You know, it's kind of like that. Richard, yeah. Let me tell you, I grew up in the 80s. That was my childhood, my preteen, teen, you know. Yeah, I tell everybody the 80s was the last decade for real music. And I'm sorry. That was the last time you really saw an artist sit down, write the lyrics out, write the music out, and put out a song. It's not fed into a computer these days and it all sounds prefabricated. To me, music now is a joke. But I agree with you. Yeah, 80s, yeah, best stuff. Or one of the best. Um, let's see. Yes, yep. Agreements would. It was amazing music. Um, it was melodic. You could understand it. You had a lot of A lot of genres, a lot of different styles of music go through the 80s, you know. So, well, oh, yep, it was. Um, I I gave up on top 40 music in 1992. I was never a fan of grunge music. I really wasn't. Yeah, I was a hairband kid. I liked my hairbands. I liked my Poison, my Cinderella, my Motley Crue, Cinderella, that Kicks, Dokken, all of your hairbands. Skid Row. I was into all of that. And now all of a sudden here comes this grunge, and I never really could get into that. They say that it's a grandchild of garage rock, but I don't know about that. Garage rock I can listen to. I can listen to punk rock. I'm okay with that, but I never could get into the grunge. I tried many times. Let's see. Do you see yourself doing another music video? Maybe title it "Tune to the Tunes." Um, I could. I could do that. That's not a bad idea. Music is a topic I have absolutely no problem talking about. I I really don't. Um, oh, Richard, I like Journey too. Now, it's not the same without Steve Perry. I will say that. Um, my favorite song by them is called Anytime. It's off of the Infinity album. Infinity is probably my top favorite album. I would say my second favorite is probably Escape, the one with Who's Crying Now, Open Arms, Don't Stop Believing. That'd be my second favorite, I'm thinking. Bon Jovi, yeah. Sunset, I got to tell you something. One of the songs by Bon Jovi that I really like was off of one of their albums that kind of underrated. It was kind of an in between. It was off of 7800 Degrees Fahrenheit. It's called In and Out of Love. Um, that was a favorite of mine. But I like all Bon Jovi, but just In and Out of Love is probably my top favorite, of the rest. Richard, Sid Vicious, wasn't that correct me if I'm wrong, you might know this. I'm not saying I don't. Wasn't that Public Image Limited? Is that who I'm thinking, or am I thinking of Johnny Rotten? But anyway, or wait a minute, Sid Vicious. Wait a minute. Or am I thinking of something like the Sex Pistols? Um, I'm just gonna have to ignore that call right now. Please overlook that. But yeah, it's the rain. It's just the rain. That is a good one. That is a good song. Um, that's Thank you. Okay, Sex Pistols. I knew it was one of the two. I knew it was either Public Image Limited or Sex Pistols. I just couldn't remember which one it was. Burton Cummings popped in my head other day. Stand tall. Okay, Burton Cummings. The Guess Who. That has to be right. Now, I grew up with a lot of Guess Who. My dad, I mean, I don't play instruments, but I grew up in a household with a lot of music. My mom, my dad, my sister, Guess Who, Blondie, Donna Summer, Rod Stewart, Cher, um, Richard, here's where you and I connect, Old Country, Merle Haggard, Tammy Wynette, George Jones, Marty Robbins, Johnny Paycheck, Kenny Rogers, Hank Williams Sr., you know, Charlie Pride, Charlie Rich, stuff like that. Um, I don't know. I just like the older country because I like a song that tells a story. Um, so yeah, I like the movie Billy Jack and the song from it. I sang it constantly when I was a kid. Oh, I know the song you're talking about, Sunset. I know exactly. It's playing in my head right now. I like that movie too. It's been eons since I've seen it, but I know the exactly. Well, Richard, well, Room Full of Roses. Don't all the girls get prettier at closing time? I believe that's the name of the song I'm trying to think of by Mickey Gilley. I Overlooked an Orchid. That's three of his songs that I do like. Yeah, Mickey's good. People forget that Mickey Gilley is related to Jerry Lee Lewis. And he's another one I like. Of course, he was real popular back in the 1950s. Yes, Stand By Me, the Ben E. King cover. Yes, yes. Even John Lennon himself did a version of that song too, if I recall, back around the mid 70s. Um, you know, let's see. Didn't know Redbone, Come and Get Your Love were native. Yeah, Rose, they were. They did another song a little bit prior to that. I think it was called The Witch from New Orleans or something. I think I might have the title right. But that's another one that they did. One Tall Soldier Rides Away. Oh, that's a good one. That's a good song. Hmm. So, yeah, like I said, I'm just glad you all um, could be here this afternoon. Let's see. Um, but like I said, music. I like all kinds of different music. I'm not into the current. I don't like current music. I don't. There's no originality. It's been gone for quite some time. There's a lot of people that are, oh, but the '90s this and the '90s and the '90s and the '90s. Okay, yeah, yeah, okay, then yeah, yeah. The '90s was a hit or miss decade for me. I Like I said, after '92, it became very selective. Um, I'll tell you what I did listen to a lot of in the '90s. I did listen to a lot of country. I did switch gears and go that direction. Oh, Rose, Little River Band, love, love, reminiscing. Um, Lady, have you heard about the Lonesome Loser? That's my favorite. Happy anniversary, baby, got you on my mind. That one. Help is on its way. Um, I know I'm probably leaving a few out of there, but but I do like them. Another good group is ELO, Electric Light Orchestra. I like their stuff. And prior to them, they were known as a group called The Move in the early '70s. Yeah, Richard, rap. Okay, I'm about to make you laugh, and I hope I do. Rap is crap. I'm going to put a rhyme to it. It really is. Um, I don't understand the logic behind rap. I don't like the wording that's used in rap. It's just I don't care for it either. I don't listen to it. I just stick with you know when music was quality. Oh, how did we go from Motown to oh well no we can we're just all over the place. Motown, okay, Smokey Robinson and the Miracles, Stevie Wonder. Um, let's see, you know, um, what Martha and the Vandellas. So many, so many different. Thelma Houston. So many. I am a Motown person. Um, Marvin Gaye. How could I possibly leave him out? Diana Ross, The Supremes. You know, yes, RESP was on the same level. Richard. Yep, Diana Ross. And I like Diana Ross even as a solo artist. Um, One of the songs that I like from her as a solo artist, it's an up tempo. She's not big on it. It was a cover, and it was a cover of a Fifth Dimension song. And I don't really think she wanted to do the song, but I think somebody talked her into it. I do like um, Love Hangover, and for some reason she's not big on that song. I don't know why. I think it's one of her best songs, with Upside Down, which is another one that came out later. Touch Me in the Morning was a good one. That was a pretty song by her. One of the ones I like from Diana as a solo artist is called Last Time I Saw Him. It didn't hit that well. And I think it was the follow up to Touch Me in the Morning. So, but yeah, Motown, any 60s, 70s, 80s, doesn't matter. Oh, Richard. Yes, I like Ain't No Mountain High Enough by Diana Ross. That was a good one. Of course, Marvin Gaye and Tammy Terrell, a couple of 3 years prior to that, they had, you know, I, that's the original, and then they decided to do a cover. I meant the black artists mainly. How did they go from mode? Oh, yeah, that's what I'm wondering. I'll tell you where I think it came in. I'm just going to give it an educated guess because I honestly don't know. I would have to say when the song Rapper's Delight came out in '79, I believe that was like the starting point of where rap started. Then you really didn't hear a whole lot about it. And then the song Rapture by Blondie. What is Debbie Harry doing in the song? She's rapping. So I think between those two songs, I think that's kind of where rap started and then it took off. But then it became uh, too overrated, if you ask me. Then a lot of profanity. Then it just went downhill. Then it's just complete and utter garbage. I don't even like like Richard, Sunset. I don't, I don't I want to hear if I'm gonna listen to music, I want music. I want something that's got some talent and some quality behind it, passion. That's what I'm after, not crap, you know. I mean, if I want to look at crap, all I got to do is, well, not that I'm trying to be specific, all I got to do is turn on the news. I can watch plenty of that. But let's see here. Yeah, Rose, yeah, Diana Ross, yeah, her music is phenomenal and great. I love it. Oh, the Jackson 5. I don't know how I left them out. They were another one in the '70s. It was in there. Yeah, Richard. Yeah, I was kind of wondering that myself. I noticed she was on a little while back, and then she just disappeared. Well, Jan, if you're, oh, there she is. Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah, that's right. You're into the Kentucky Derby. Yeah, that's right. You're into the horse thing. Okay. Yeah, you mentioned that to me earlier. That kind of slipped me a little bit. Um, so anyway, this is just a thought out loud. Like I said, if people wonder, well, Steve, are you the same in person as you are on here? The answer is yes. So if you met me in person, you shook my hand, you gave me a fist bump, whatever way they acknowledge now since COVID. Um, what you see here is what you're going to get in person, sitting down at a table, conversating back and forth. You're going to get the same thing. Um, let's see. Oh, the Osmond brothers. That's a good one. One Bad Apple, Puppy Love. Um, I also liked it when Donnie and Marie did their thing, just them alone. And then, of course, they had their variety show in the 70s that they did. I know that I do like, was it Donny Osmond or was it the Osmond? Well, anyway, it was the Osmonds, I'm thinking, more or less. I do like their version of Are You Lonesome Tonight? I like to think they did a nice cover of it, but I found out just recently that song goes way back, like in the teens. I found that out not about 2, 3 weeks back. Yeah, Tiger Beat did have him on there. That was like the magazine to go to for for the teen heartthrobs back in the day. Um, my teenage heartthrobs was like Tiffany, Debbie Gibson. I did have a crush on Sheena Easton for a while, even though she was older. Alyssa Milano, who's the boss at that time. Now it's different. She's gone. She's a totally different person now. But I had that image of Samantha Fox until I found out Samantha Fox. You know, I thought she was pretty and all that, but I found out different. After the fact. Oh, Leif Garrett. I grew up with his music. We all know the one that everybody knows by him. I was made for dancing all night long. Yeah, yeah, I know it. I think my sister had the 45 back in the day. But I'll tell you a song by Leif I do like a lot. Probably underrated. I don't think it hit well. Might have not even charted. If it did, it was pretty like number 50, number 60, something like that. It was a song called Memorize Your Number. Feel free to look it up. It's a pretty good song. Richard, do teen magazines still exist? I don't know. It has been eons. I'm thinking it's been at least 30 years since I've actually picked up a teen mag. Uh, you know, I know back in the 80s they were all over the place, right and left. Let's see. Yep, Donnie and Marie, that was a good show. Of course, you had the Brady Bunch hour two where everybody, in the late 70s, they were on there. Let's see. Oh, thank you, Rose. Yeah, I appreciate that. Well, I try to have taste. I try to be mainstream about a lot of things. I try to be right up the middle. Of what I like, and of course, a lot of the time, what I like is what everybody else, can associate with. So, Teen People Magazine. That's Sunset. Is that still around? Is that magazine still around, or is it or is that or is that out of production? Because the title of that sounds familiar too. But I know I remember at some point seeing Teen Beat. I know I saw it plain as day. Oh, Maureen McCormick? Yeah, she was pretty. She still looks pretty good today. I think she's in her middle 60s now, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. I know she and Barry Windham's were like 1 or 2 years apart. I think he was the older one. Because if I remember, I think Barry or Greg graduated high school first before Marcia did. Oh, Susan Day. Okay, the Partridge Family. And and I was just talking to a friend of mine last night about this other show, L.A. Law. People forget that she was a DA on that show, and she was her love interest was Harry Hamlin. I mean, you know, that's flashback to the '80s when it comes to TV. Um, well, guys, hmm, can't really think of anything else to talk about. We pretty much covered all our bases. We talked about the music and magazines and things like that. Um, I just want to thank all of you for tuning in. I really am glad that you all could participate. Oh, Richard, you never saw LA Law? That's not a problem. If you ever do, if you ever do want to watch it, um, I'm sure you could probably pull it up on YouTube. YouTube has just about everything. It's pretty much all you got to do is just type in LA Law, and it ran, I think, for 8 seasons, I believe it was. So if you ever do want to watch an episode of it or two, it's not hard to get your hands on that. Shouldn't be anyway. Let's see. Sure, yeah, go ahead, Sunset. Yeah, if you have anything you would like to share, that would be fine. Um, yeah, feel free to. Like I said, I enjoy hearing from you guys. I mean, like I said, even though we don't know each other personally, I do consider all of you, my internet friends. So definitely, we all have that connection. Yeah, Richard, I read about that yesterday or day before about Danny being in the hospital. Poor guy. That guy, and I like Danny. And he's been through so much. I'm just glad not the wife that he's married to now, but I think his prior wife, Gretchen, I believe is her name. She saved him from a bad drug problem that he was dealing with, and she helped clean him up. So I'm going to have to find out a little bit deeper as to why um, he's in the hospital. Let's see. Yeah, he is. I believe Danny was born in '59. Yeah, I believe he was born in sometime in '59 because I'm pretty familiar with. I know David was the oldest. David Cassidy. I know he was the oldest. And then I want to say Susan was next in line, and then Danny. And then of course you have the other two, the girl, and then there's another boy. And I think they were probably like I'm guessing early 60s, a little bit further in. Yeah, okay. Well, Richard, you already know how I feel about your year of birth. You already know how I feel about 1958. If I could have a back to the future moment like Michael J. Fox did, if I could jump into a DeLorean and set the date I would pick 1958 to go back to. Not only do I look at that as like the pinnacle of rock and roll music, which I did, um, I would want to purchase. This was just always a fantasy of mine. I would want to purchase a 50s car, something in 58. 58 had some pretty nice body style cars. I would love to take a car from that era, or 58, bring it back to now, and then try to sell it for thousands of dollars. This is just, you know, something I've thought about for a long time. Did Richard, did you just say 58 Cadillac? You and I are connected, mentally connected. I really believe, because that's the car that I would want to go get, is a 58 Cadillac. There is something unique about that particular body style. I know it was not really uh, well accepted, but I like 58 Cadillacs. Matter of fact, the 58 Cadillac Fleetwood 60 Special, to be exact. If not that, I would say a top of the line DeVille, maybe a sedan DeVille or something like that, or even a coupe DeVille. It doesn't matter. But wow, 58 cat. That's actually the car I was. That's actually the car I was thinking of getting in 58. Let's see. Let's see. Copacabana, the Rat Pack. I'm gonna have. I'll have to check that out. I'm not sure if I've ever heard that version. And I know who the Rat Pack is. I'm very familiar with who that is. Let's see. Was it Donnie that had a hit with "Are You Lonesome Tonight"? Yes, it was. It was him. Matter of fact, I was just talking about him just a few minutes ago. Okay, all right. You just had to marry David Cassidy, yeah. Well, he did have the song "I Think I Love You." You know, pretty good song. I like it. I still listen to it. If I hear it on one of my internet radio channels like Deezer or Spotify, if it comes on. I don't listen to the radio much anymore. They don't know what music is, and they play the same thing again and again and again. So I don't bother with that. Yes, thank you, Sunset. I had a slight, and I'm just going to call it what it is. I had a slight brain fart there. Yes, the Copa is a famous club. That's absolutely right. At the Copa, Copacabana. I like that song. By Richard, I like Barry Manilow in general. Matter of fact, somebody asked me if I played an instrument. The answer is no. But if I had to pick an instrument to learn, I would probably pick the piano. Um, be- you know, and Barry Manilow is a partial influence on that. But Barry Manilow is great. Copacabana, Mandy, I write the songs. Weekend in New England, It's a Miracle, Even Now, Can't Smile Without You, Somewhere in the Night, even though that's a Helen Reddy song originally. Um, Looks Like We Made It, One Voice. Soon as I log off of here, I'm going to play that. I haven't heard that one in a while, but I went through as a teenager. I went through a Barry Manilow phase. For about a month and a half, all I played was nothing but Barry. Again, my parents thought that I was brainwashed, but no. I mean, there were times as a teenager, as a kid, I went through phases. Barry Manilow, I went through an ABBA phase. This one might throw you guys off, but I did it. I went through a Herb Alpert and the Tijuana Brass phase. Yeah, I did. Sometimes, oh, Elton John, I went through a phase of his. Sometimes, as a teenager, preteen, as a kid, my mind would get set on an artist or a group, and that's all I would listen to for about a month, month and a half, a couple of months. Um, of course, I became very well versed on their music, amongst others. All right. I want to thank all of you for tuning in this afternoon. I really appreciate it. Be on the lookout. I'll be going live again in the next few days. This has been fun. I'm glad you guys could uh, be with me. I really appreciate it. And I will see you guys. If I don't see you between now and Tuesday, I'll see you on Tuesday. Be on the lookout for that recipe. I'll talk to you later. Bye.